to Vegas. But if it had been even closer, if it was Nashville against Washington, that it would have been still this many days in between. It's just, and so the Cavaliers and the Warriors will play tonight,
and then Sunday.
Then Sunday. So we got, and they're still in San Francisco, right, or Oakland, wherever they're still.
Oakland. And then Wednesday's game 3.
Game 3.
Just prolong the agony, and
And what am I doing in that meantime? Watch Mets game?
exactly. No, we can't do. What are the Mets doing? Incidentally, it was 4-0, right?
I think they lost 5-1,
right?
Oh my God.
5-1.
Matz does on the good side. Matz does say that he played catch today and he feels fine. None the worse for, but yet he's out of the rotation.
No, he should definitely not be in the rotation.
Yeah.
I'm fine with
so
Matz not being in the rotation.
He's out of the rotation.
I just think it should be DeGrom, Syndergaard. We got to see what we get from Vargas and Zach Wheeler. I think that just got to be our rotation.
Vargas is just
bad.
Yeah, I mean,
no, he pitched pretty good the last night, right?
He did. He pitched great against the Marlins. Right? He pitched well last night. Was it last night, or I think it was?
Yeah, last night.
So
he's pitched 5 scoreless, right? I think it was.
Yeah, for both of those games.
Also, a guy that I never expected to sound the way he does. Yeah. He's so Californian. I thought he was like from the Dominican or whatever. He's like, well, what I did there was, I'm like, wait a second. I didn't know that.
Down.
Yeah, I didn't.
Ask him the question again.
Exactly. I didn't know that. Oh, okay, all right. But what did he win 18 games last year or something like that? That's what they're banking on. The fact that he won that many games before in Callaway.
Honestly, if the Mets offense was half decent, I think DeGrom would probably be up there in wins. Like probably have maybe like 9-10 wins.
His ERA gets lower and lower,
and his wins don't move.
and the Mets, don't forget the very first free agent guy they signed in the offseason was Swarzak, right? Mm-hmm. So that's money, that's opportunity cost, it's money, and he hasn't been there.
Exactly.
So they didn't have anything to replace him.
Yeah, Vargas is from California, Apple Valley.
Oh, exactly. The guy sounds like he's from Apple Valley. He's like, almost like a Valley girl. And it's like, wow. 516-572-7440. 516-572-7440. That's the number to call. Mets Rocco, he's from Puxaltowny, Pennsylvania. We know that from Groundhog Day. Yes, Puxaltowny Phil. 516-5. Not to be confused with if Mark was in the room, he could tell us the name of the groundhog in Malvern. It's Malvern Mel. Malvern Mel. It's Puxaltowny Phil.
But that's smooth, though.
And Staten Island Chuck. For whatever reason, they got Malvern, they got alliteration. Malvern Mel, Puxaltowny Phil, and Staten Island Chuck. Which sounds like a steak. 516-572-7440. 516-572-7440. That's the number to call. I'd love to hear what's on your mind if you want to call into Sports Talk and weigh in with your opinions on what's going on in the world of New York sports. Do you know the name of the groundhog from Malvern?
Malvern.
You did not.
No.
It's Malvern Mel, just to...
Puxaltowny Phil, which I found out Puxaltowny is nowhere near New York.
No, it's not.
It's like near Pittsburgh.
Yep, exactly. Well, that's the whole point of, if you ever see the movie, he comes out from Pittsburgh. He was Phil Connor. He was the weatherman from Pittsburgh who makes the trip.
I don't know why they talk a lot about it here. So,
what groundhog day?
Tony Phil.
Oh, but he's legendary. That's where it comes from. That's where it originates from. That's the famous groundhog.
They act like that Puxaltowny Phil lives in the Poconos.
Oh no! It's just that he's the guy. I mean, not guy. He's the rodent.
There's an exit on 80 that says Puxaltowny.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it's not.
I mean, it means that the road might go there. Like, if you go by what road signs say, you're thinking, oh, it's close, but meanwhile, that's where the end of the road is. Like, you can,
or the next big city.
Right, exactly. So, 516-572-7440. Don't forget Sports Talk. I'm back on Sundays, 3 p.m. Sundays, 3 p.m. You should listen to Piano Man, the Billy Joel radio show, Sunday afternoons, 3 p.m. I had a lot of callers this past week who were like, thank God you're back on Sundays. Apparently, they couldn't get up at 9 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday, so they're still keeping rock star hours, I guess, even at advanced ages. But 516-572-7440. This is 90.3 WHPC. This is Sports Talk. We're here every Thursday evening, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m., 100% commercial free. And
we're not going anywhere.
No, you got to love us because we got Cameron Bonagora, Tristan Hamilton, Nick Ornberger, who's on assignment tonight, Mark Tchaikovsky, and I'm Chris Muldoon. And this station is 24/7, 100% commercial free. Tonight we have been brought to you by the LI Nets 3-on-3 Festival, and the first hour was brought to you by, actually there's a couple of things in the first hour, because we had the Mulcahy's Disco and also the Tillis Center. So 516-572-7440. Send me an email at sportstalk@optonline.net, sportstalk@optonline.net.
You know what's very weird? There's a guy out there. His name is, they call him Regent Tillies.
Oh, yeah?
What?
Oh, he's on the Board of Regents.
Right.
Roger Tillis. Yeah, yeah.
Right.
That's him. That's who it is.
He's related
That's the family.
to the...
That's the family. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He's on the New York State Board of Regents.
Is that the only... Is New York the only state in the country where somebody has a title of name Regent?
It's the only place where the kids take Regents exams,
Yeah,
because the other states have to deal with them, and kids get killed by Regents. I never took one my whole life, so I don't know, but I know my son had to take them, and I see kids getting killed by them, and that really hurts for colleges, because you're not comparing apples to apples when you're seeing some kid from Connecticut, like my niece is the same age, she doesn't have to take tests like that. So
they just take classes.
They take their classes and their finals and their comprehensive exams or whatever it is. And it's a whole different thing.
You get a final and then you get a Regents, I think, which is not even included in your grade. It's just something separate.
That's right.
It's just a way to state to make money and to...
Yeah, exactly. Because you're really not measuring like against like, I don't think, but who knows. Let's see, anything going on in the world. So like we were saying before when we had Dave from Franklin Square on, the Yankees have to keep an eye on what pitchers are available there. The Mets have to just, Frazier will be back this week. Cabrera's hitting well. Cespedes has to suck it up.
Tell him, Chris.
That bullpen just has to...
Robles needs to go to...
Oh, he does. Oh, my goodness. The Ducks. He needs... If you go to liducks.com, one of the things that they have is the K-Rod autograph policy. And I didn't bother reading it, so I don't know what it is, but I probably should do it live on air because it's certainly something topical and nearby us, but it has a thing for K-Rod autograph policy. It's like, dude, you're on the Ducks now. But, unless... like a lot of collectors have him signing. Doesn't he have a single season saves record? I think he does. 75 or something like that? So unless a lot of collectors have him signing like saves leader or whatever, and he doesn't get paid for it as opposed to him doing signings or something like that. But come on, that's a little bit much. And Robles should be pitching for the Long Island Ducks or whoever else he should be pitching for.
Robles, you could also send Reyes over there.
Reyes. It would make sense. Reyes has made too much money, though. Reyes has a lot of money. It should have a lot of money in the bank.
Should.
It's still the next county over.
Is he in Suffolk? That he was in Nassau.
He's in Port Washington. So Queens is the next county over from Nassau, and Suffolk is the next county over from Nassau, too.
Yeah.
Wait, Reyes lives in Port Washington?
Yes.
Oh.
And he was always like in the Locust Valley, Bayville.
And you know what's crazy about that? Is that I went to a White Sox game before, right? And they were playing the Blue Jays when Reyes was on the Blue Jays. It said where you're from and current residence, and it said Port Washington, New York for current residence.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. Well, I remember back at baseball cards, Ed Kranepool had Farmingdale, New York in his. I'd always like to see where guys had listed as on. It was cool. It was always like, where, really? Like when it was placed by you. It's like, wow, holy cow. There was a quarterback for the Bears who had New Hyde Park, New York, which is kind of cool to have.
Yeah, but no one would live in those type of towns anymore.
No. Now they're exactly. Now they wouldn't live in. They live in upscale.
Glencoe.
Full Glencoe mansions if they're possible. Well,
Garden City.
A lot of the Met '86 guys were in Port Washington because it's a hop, skip, and a jump to get to Shea Stadium back then. That's why they went to all the bars up there. And
I know when they're young though, when they're starting off, a lot of them go to Point Lookout or Long Beach
and everything because it's like college living basically.
Especially the West End.
The thing that I found weird is when the Islanders there was that guy a few years ago. I don't really follow the Islanders, but he lived in Garden City and he was selling his house and he wanted, but it had a like a landmark designation. Yeah, Boychuk, who was like essentially
Johnny Boychuk,
essentially a nobody, but his house is worth millions of dollars. And it's like, wow, where did this come from? That he's got this kind of money to sell a house, and he was kind of giving it away. He's like, he was willing to, if somebody would take it off his hands because it had this landmark designation on it, he was looking for the village to get involved and the historical society to get involved. And I'm like, where did this guy kind of make this kind of money in hockey? What kind of career?
Maybe he has a family. He's from Massachusetts, so a lot of families from Massachusetts,
Yeah, could be family money or something like that. Yeah, you're true.
There's one former Islander that lives in Plainview, Radek Martinek.
I remember there was I don't remember what it was a player. What was it, Claude Lemieux? No, it might have been Claude. There was a player from the Islanders in the early '90s, late '90s, who lived in Hicksville because he loved the school district. I remember that. I remember that story.
Was it Mike Hampton?
Because he went exactly. he went to school with his kids. Went to school with my brother's best friend's kids when he was living in Hicksville, and he said, the guys every day pick them up at school and dropping them off because he loves the school.
Where were they practicing at the time? Kenyak Park.
So it makes sense. But they could walk. He can walk to practice.
Yes.
So 516-572-7440.
Maybe he wanted to go to Barry Tech. There's
going to be a hearing or something on that Ronkonkoma arena. that they're going to have going on.
They're hearing, but I'm not listening.
Which is just so crazy. It's supposed to be $2 billion. It doesn't have a team. You can't build a... and then do you see... Now, when I was a kid, there were 26 Major League Baseball teams. There were 28 football teams. Right. That's the way it was for a long time. Now, MLS, Major League Soccer, do you know what they're up to?
Cincinnati.
Yeah, they just added Cincinnati, which was a USL team.
Yeah, but they got a lot of big fans. So they do good at Nippert Stadium.
But do you know what they're going up to now? They're going to have 26 teams in the MLS, which is unbelievable that they can have this kind of number of teams in the United States and have players, and yet we still can't even get into the World Cup. Right? The U.S. men's national team.
Two things I don't want to forget. I want to stay on this MLS thing for 1 second, and then I want to go back to the Ronkonkoma thing. On MLS, they're threatening to move the Columbus team.
Yeah, because you see where they want to go?
To Oklahoma, I think.
Yeah.
But there's a state law in Ohio that if your stadium is built with public funds, the state legislator has to approve of your team moving because of the whole Browns thing to Baltimore.
Interesting.
So
very interesting. Yeah, the post-Browns move.
Right. So
it's the Columbus Crew, who I always thought did well, and they were in a good sports town. Of course, it was always bizarre that the Columbus Blue Jackets became an expansion team in Columbus, Ohio, because the team in Columbus, Ohio, was the Ohio State University.
I sent a message off the air the other day. I said I was passing Ohio Stadium.
The Ohio State.
And generally had my ring finger and my pointer finger down.
You were showing them who's number one.
Smitty Werman Jensen. Do you know him? He was number one.
Yes, I'm familiar. And given the way that both Tristan and Cameron got the joke, it's one of those things when now that I'm an old man, I have to if the kids are laughing, it must be something that the reference they get. And
back to the
last week, I referenced Monk, and Cameron got it. I'm like, yeah,
that was a KJ thing.
Okay,
KJ
likes Psych.
Oh, Psych. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, that's right. He likes Psych.
No, but going back to the Ronkonkoma Arena, that's very comparable to the Bald Hill Amphitheater because that gets your country shows. Right, it's big on country. So your Brad Paisley's, your Luke Bryan's, you can go there. And also, for some reason, there's a big niche, I think, of club DJ music.
Oh, really?
Because there's a party station. Not EDM, but like...
like BLI?
No.
Did you see who the sponsor of the Bald Hill Amphitheater is?
Penny Saver.
Where do they get money to sponsor anything?
And you know what's funny? I was listening to Sirius XM on the ride home from Ohio. My sister had the country station on because obviously she's living down in Ohio.
Right, one in Ohio.
And they do some kind of country show at an Italian restaurant in Manhattan.
Really?
I have no idea what the story behind this was.
Wow.
And the girl shouts out, she's like, I can't wait to see you at the Penny Saver Amphitheater. On Sirius Radio.
My wife delivered penny savers as a girl because it was a job you could have. They let kids under 16 have jobs delivering penny savers. Nowadays, do you guys even know what a penny saver is? Yeah. They used to come in these baggies and you'd have to throw them on doorsteps. And one time, this before I knew my wife, but some old lady called up because my wife didn't put it on her front step. She put it to the side. The old lady called up complaining, like the penny saver company, and I remember my in-laws, my wife's parents got all upset. Like, my daughter gets a quarter of a cent for everything she delivers. And you're calling about a 12-year-old girl with placing the penny saver where you had to go and bend down and pick it up, kind of stuff.
You know what I call it? Glow. Remember the thing Glow around the corner from here? Glow nightclub or whatever it was?
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of like that vibe.
Not Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling.
Cameron could say it.
Do you ever see
the Italian, Jersey Shore?
Well, do you ever see the this Havana 59, whatever this restaurant?
Cars?
They're right over here, right
next to the bowling alley.
Cars are phenomenal.
Yeah, they look pretty cool.
Now, that bowling alley that was the Garden City Bowl. That used to host a PBA event. That was a sanctioned a PBA event every year. I don't think it still does, but until I was in college, till the 90s, you would have. And it would say it was the Garden City Open, and it had a spot, and it was hilarious. You'd be watching Earl Anthony, Mark Roth, all these top bowlers they'd all be at the Garden City, which was the back of that restaurant. It was the back. Yes. It wasn't that restaurant back in the day. There was a lot of other things over there, but it was the back, and it doesn't look like I've never seen it. I've never been back there.
NCC holds classes there, so that's
do they really?
Income,
for PE. Yeah, for bowling. We go bowling there. I took bowling 1 and 2.
So that's a steady income from the college. You know, that keeps them alive. Also, a lot of leagues. All the weekend stuff, that's extra.
Well, I think I've told the story of who I was on a bowling team with in college. Jerome Bettis. I was on my team. Yeah. My bowling team.
Yeah, but I think after